Welcome back to Trash Plays Marvel Champions, and today we are doing the Raft Breakout using Hammerhead as the villain in our campaign game. So, to begin with, the Raft Breakout has us starting with the Master Key attached to the villain, and I have to discard cards from the encounter deck until they discard a prisoner minion and reveal it. So, I suppose this is the Raft, and the Master Key is something that opens the doors to the Raft prisons, and now we have to start with a minion revealed. So let's do that. Discarding cards until we get, not a prisoner, that's just a criminal. Criminal, Magia, prisoner, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna reveal Drang as our first prisoner. And this guy's gonna be revealed engaged with us. And this starts with 2 per person threat. We are also going to need to, each minion gains when defeated, remove 1 threat from the main scheme, 2 threat instead if this minion has the elite trait, which they do. And this is all minions, not just prisoners. Okay. Hammerhead is a 2-1 with force response after Hammerhead attacks and damages a character. Stun that character. Wow. If that character was already stunned, deal 1 damage to them. That seems kind of crazy. So you just always have to guard against them? If you don't want to be stunned the entire time, that seemed annoying. And then for the Master Key, attached to the villain, permanent force response after the villain schemes against you. Deal each of that activation's boost card that is a minion to yourself as a face-down encounter card. Okay, that's kind of cool. So then when they're scheming, like, they're scheming specifically in a way where they're like, I'm releasing prisoners. That's pretty cool. As for Drang, they are a 1/1/6 Badoon elite prisoner, villainous. Force response, after Drang attacks you, place 1 barrage counter on him. Then take 1 indirect damage for each barrage counter on Drang. Wow. That's gonna be annoying. Alright, and then as for the rest of the campaign setup, for the Raft Breakout setup, if there is at least 1 checkmark besides the Raft Breakout, which there is in the campaign log, give each prisoner minion a tough status card. If there are 2 checkmarks, which I don't believe there were, give each of those minions the face down boost card as well. So he's gonna start tough. Drang, I mean, is gonna start tough. Unfortunately, I am not gonna start tough, because when I did the art museum heist, I watched that video and I edited it, and it turns out I actually lost halfway through that video, so I should not have been playing as if I completed this. So I'm just gonna, instead of trying to redo that fight, because technically I can redo it in the campaign, instead of trying to redo it, I'm just gonna flip this over and say that I lost it. So instead, my setup goes from give each identity a tough status card to each player can chooses to either stun or confuse their identity. In expert mode, choose to do both instead. I'm not playing an expert, so I'm gonna choose to confuse myself because I know that Daredevil in this deck has a lot of cards that allow me to, well, not a lot, but I have 3 copies of a free card that lets me thwart, basically, so that's essentially free. I did, however, successfully complete Typhoid Mary, and I'm pretty sure I did not cheat in that game, so I'm gonna say that Typhoid Mary I actually do get to have as an ally when I start the game. Setup victory -1, first response after I reveal a minion, remove all damage from here and flip this card. Does this count? I think technically, in terms of when the campaign setup happens, Typhoid Mary is not on the board when I'm setting up the board. I'm pretty sure that's how the campaign works. Yeah, if Trust Established, the Bloody Mary stuff is step 13, and the proceed with the scenario setup until player setup is step 7. So I'm pretty sure she's not actually on the board when Drang is revealed. And then for the Protection Racket, which I did not cheat, it's fine. Setup after resolving mulligans, each player may search their deck and discard a pile for support and add it to their hand. In expert mode, each player who did so discards 1 card from their hand. I'm not playing an expert. And then for the getaway, after resolving mulligans, each player may search their deck and discard power for an upgrade and add it to their hand. In expert mode, each player who does so discards 1 card from their hand. So basically, I get to search for an upgrade and a support. And yeah, let's do this. So I need to draw my hand size of 6. We are starting as Matt Murdock, and I suppose that this is basically a boss fight. We just have to beat the boss while minions keep coming out, which is kinda hard because the Hammerhead, I believe, was the villain that actually had minions in his set. So there's twice the number of villains as compared to any other boss that we will be fighting, which is quite a coincidence. So let us draw our hand size of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have Legal Trouble. Legal Trouble. I've never actually used this, but I can actually use this time. Attach minion gets -2 scheme if I want to stay in alter ego mode, but I think I'd rather just defeat Drang. Ghost Rider, very, very good. Deposition. Man Without Fear. Starting with Man Without Fear is great. Raising Hell is also maybe not as great immediately right off the bat. An enchanting counter attached to a side scheme. There are no side schemes, so I'm definitely gonna mulligan this. Probably gonna mulligan this. Ghost Rider is great, but I think I want to mulligan him at the very beginning, and Deposition is good. I'll keep Deposition, especially since I start off in Alter Ego. It's basically a free use of my sense deck, and in Raising Hell, I don't think I would have enough to play it. Although, no, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't have enough to play it if I do the Man Without Fear and Deposition. So let's discard the Raising Hell as well, which is a good card, but I've never actually used it, but I think it's a good card. Oh, but I am going to have enough to play it, maybe, because of the campaign setup stuff. I get a... what is it? Upgrade and Support. Ooh, which ones do I want to add? Upgrade is probably going to be Billy Club, which is going to cost 1. And then for Support, it's probably going to be... I suppose that means I would have to use 2 for the Man Without Fear, and then I would get a 2-cost support as well. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't matter what I mulligan. Yeah, but I think that's okay, so let's just go with this. I'm going to start with these 6 cards, and then I'm going to search for my Billy Club upgrade, and then a 2-cost support. Billy Club upgrade, and for my support, ooh, Stick is a great option at the moment, because I have my Man Without Fear immediately. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with, first of all, Typhoid Mary attack to get rid of this stuff on Drang. She is going to take 1 damage from this, but then the next time a villain is revealed, she gets to heal all of her damage and flip this card to Bloody Mary. So let's then go Raising Hell to pay for my Billy Club. Gives me +1 attack. Deposition and Ghost Rider to pay for my Man Without Fear, and then Legal Trouble and Chance Encounter to pay for Stick. Now that I have all this stuff out, I am going to flip over to Daredevil, and then he only has 6 HP, so Daredevil is going to... I don't have 2 readies out. Yeah, I only have 1 ready out at the moment, so I would need to do both attacks on Drang to get rid of him. So Daredevil is going to attack Drang, and that's going to deal 3 damage, and then I'm going to use the Man Without Fear to deal 1 damage to myself, to unexhaust myself, and then Daredevil is going to attack Drang again to get rid of him. I think that's the play. Yeah, I think that's the play. So Drang's going to be defeated, and then Raft Breakout is going to have 2 threats removed because they had the elite trait. And that's going to be the end of my turn. Let's draw back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have Heroic Intuition, Contingency Planning, Focus the Senses, De-Escalation, and Dance with the Devil. Not a lot of stuff I want to actually see at the moment, but that's great because I have my sense deck. So, Raft Breakout is going to get 1 per player. Hammerhead is then going to attack, and I am going to defend, I guess, because I don't want to get stunned. Or should I actually just get stunned? I feel like it might be better to just take the hit and get stunned because I don't have a lot of defense. I only have 2 defense. If he boosts for at least 2, I'm gonna get stunned anyways, so then I have to use the Man Without Fear to unexhaust myself and then attack to just do nothing. So I might as well just waste my activation on a stunned activation so that I can Man Without Fear to... but then I'm taking 2 more damage. I think that's fine. Yeah, so he'll attack for 1 plus star boost. Give the villain a tough status card. Oh man, I should have actually... That's okay. So I am gonna take 1 damage. And then we're going to stun me because I took damage from this attack. And then we're going to reveal and assault. Oh no, that's not great. That's not great. The villain attacks you. Okay, so Hammerhead is attacking me. And because I'm already stunned, I kind of don't want to take this hit because then if I do, I will take 1 more hit. So I guess I'm going to hope I don't get a boost of 2 this time. So he's attacking for 1 plus... boost of 2, yay, okay. So that's going to be 3 damage, I am going to take 1 damage, and then 1 more damage because I'm already stunned. And now I'm going to use the Man Without Fear to unstun myself, and that's or unexhaust myself, and that's going to put me up to 5 damage, and that's not going to be great. So what am I going to do? I guess, hero action, return this card from my hand, return this card to your hand from play to deal 1 damage to an enemy. So I'm going to return this to my hand, deal 1 damage to Hammerhead to get rid of the tough. No, that doesn't. I have Bloody Mary. I have Bloody Mary. That's okay. I shouldn't do that. So Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary is gonna attack, deal 1 damage to get rid of the tough, and then let's go Dance with the Devil and De-escalation to pay for my heroic intuition. I might as well get this out. I don't really want to do this, but I guess I'll put out my focus to senses and I'll use my contingency planning, or I'll just. Yeah, let's just play my contingency planning, and yeah, I really don't want to do this, but I guess I'll use the Man Without Fear to take 1 damage, and then I will unexhaust myself, and then flip over to Matt Murdock, and exhaust myself to heal for 3. Not the optimal way to do that, I guess, but that was an unfortunate turn from the villain. So, Raft Breakout is oh, first I need to draw my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This should come into play with 4 counters. And what did I get? I got Deposition, Danger, or Dagger, Blind Spot, Legal, Truckable, Sister Maggie. Sister Maggie I should have probably just waited for, Enchanting counter. Okay. So main scheme's gonna get 1. Hammerhead is going to scheme for 2. And after they scheme against you, each activation's boost card that is a minion is dealt to myself as a face down encounter card. Okay, so he doesn't get an extra boost card. So he's going to scheme for 2 plus not a minion, but 2 plus 1, so that's going to be 3 more to the main scheme, followed by a face down encounter card, and that card is going to be Caught Off Guard. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support that you control. I'm going to discard my contingency planning. And now it's my turn. I'm still confused and I'm still stunned. I don't think I need to heal at the moment, so let's flip back over. No, before I flip back over, let's use Deposition. So let's use Blind Spot, very expensive, to pay. Is he worth it after Blind Spot towards confuse an enemy with an upgrade attached? Kind of worth it, but I kind of want to play other cards at the moment. So I'm going to use Blind Spot to pay for Deposition. Alter Ego action, I can choose an upgrade from the Sense deck and play it, ignoring its resource cost. Do not shuffle, remove 2 threats from a scheme. Oh no, but that's a thwart. Wait a second, that's a thwart and I'm confused. Do I have a cheaper thwart instead? Unfortunately not, but I think it's still worth it just to get rid of my confused. So let's use the Deposition to get rid of the confused, and then flip over to... yeah, let's then flip over to Daredevil. Let's use 2 for Sister Maggie. And then let's use my radar, or my Chanting Counter to pay for the radar sense onto Hammerhead, and then attack with Daredevil. That's going to get rid of my stun, but confuse me. And then I'm going to use my Man Without Fear, take 1 damage to unexhaust myself, and then Daredevil is going to attack Hammerhead, and I'm going to activate the radar sense to deal another 3 damage, so that's going to be a total of 6 damage because I have the Billy Club, so I have 3 attack plus the 3 damage from the sense to deal 6 damage to Hammerhead. Oh, I'm going to use Stick as well to deal 1 more damage, so he's up to 7, not 6. And that's going to be the end of my turn. Let's draw back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have Know Your Enemy, Living Light Detector, Legal Trouble, Move in Shadow, Know Your Enemy. 2 Know Your Enemies. I finally got those out. Would have been nice to have earlier, but that's okay. Main scheme is going to get 1. And Hammerhead is going to attack. I am going to defend this, and I'm going to use Stick to give myself +1 to this power. So I'm defending for 3. He's attacking for 1 plus no boost. And this was not a scheme, so this does not come into play with me, so I don't take any damage and I don't get stunned. Followed by a face down card, and that card is going to be Cold as Ice. +2 scheme, attached to the minion with the highest base hit points and give that minion a tough status card, otherwise this card gains Surge. There are no minions, so this is going to gain Surge, and it reveals Mysterio, Villainous. Force response, after Mysterio attacks you, deal each of the activations boost card that is a treachery to yourself as a face down encounter card. Wow, they really love dealing the boost cards as face-down encounter cards for you, don't they, in this set? Okay. Oh, because a minion was finally revealed, Typhoid Mary now gets to remove all damage from here and flip this card. After I reveal a minion, yeah. I remove all damage and flip this card. She is now Bloody Mary, who has 2 attack and victory -1. First response after I reveal a side scheme, reveal all, or remove all damage from here and flip this card. So now I get to attack for free, basically, with Bloody Mary. I mean, not free, but it's 2 damage, she has 3 HP, she takes 1 consequential. Let's have her... can I deal 4 damage with Daredevil on Mysterio? I don't think so. After I defeat attached enemy or remove the last threat from attached scheme, discard this card, ready your identity. What is the top cards of my deck? Okay, so this is a scheme. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to use my legal trouble to pay for acute tactility onto the main scheme. Then I'm going to use my move in shadow to pay for the enhanced offlocation onto the main scheme. Then I'm going to use my living lie detector. I'm going to use know your enemy to pay for living lie detector. Remove 2 threats from a scheme. For each upgrade attached to that scheme, I can remove 1 additional threat from it. So I'm going to remove 4 because there are 2 upgrades attached to the main scheme. So that goes from 6 to 2. And I am going to, when I... Oh, this is the wrong upgrade. Whoops, this is not the upgrade I thought it was. I mean, I suppose I could still make this work. Yeah, I can still make this work. So Bloody Mary, instead of attacking, is going to thwart the main scheme. And that's going to put it down to 1. And then I will use my Know Your Enemy, which has discount 1 for martial artist. So this costs nothing. So it's a 0 cost, remove 1 threat from a scheme, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So I'm going to remove 1 threat from the Focus to Senses, and I'm going to remove 1 threat from the main scheme. And now that the main scheme has had its last threat removed, I can now discard the acute tactility. When I defeat the attached enemy or remove the last threat from attached scheme, discard to ready my identity. So Daredevil is now readied. And now that Daredevil is ready, he has 3 attack. He's going to attack Mysterio for 3, and then I'm going to exhaust the Man Without Fear to deal myself 1 damage, unexhaust Daredevil, and then Daredevil is going to attack again for 3, which will defeat Mysterio. And that's going to be the end of my turn. Drawing back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have Energy, Elektra, Stealth Training, Foggy Nelson, and Move in Shadow. Okay, so main scheme is going to get 1? Yeah, main scheme's going to get 1. Hammerhead is going to attack. I'm going to defend again with Stick. For defense of 3, he's attacking for 1. That's a 3 boost. Alright, so this is not a scheme, so I still don't get dealt him as a card, but I'm going to take 1 damage and be stunned. Followed by a face-down encounter card, and that card is going to be Baron Zemo Villainous. Treat each ally with threat on it as a deceived minion with a blank text box. Its scheme is equal to... What? Treat each ally with threat on it as a deceived minion with a blank text box. Its scheme is equal to its base thwart, and it does not take consequential damage. When revealed, place 1 threat on an ally without threat on it. It engages its controller. Alright, well, it was nice knowing you, Bloody Mary, but Bloody Mary is now back to being an enemy, which is thematic, I suppose. Alright, and... okay, at least they don't activate this turn. Let me check something. Real quick. So the good news, if we can call it good news, is that the Raft Breakout says when Baron Zemo leaves play, what happens to allies with threat on him? They return to being allies under their owner's control, but the threat tokens stay. If Baron Zemo enters play again, those allies become minions again, in addition to any allies that Baron Zemo places threat on. So the threat stays, but because Baron Zemo is no longer in play, this treat each ally with threat on it as a deceived minion no longer applies, and then Bloody Mary would come back to me. So all I gotta do is defeat Bloody Mary. However, I am stunned and exhausted, so I gotta figure out how to do that. Top card of my Sense deck is the -3 attack. Superior Taste attaches to a scheme, so these 2 won't help me defeat him. I need to get through 3 senses to get back to my radar sense. I could use the Man Without Fear to get it directly onto Baron Zemo. Do I have an attack in my hand? I don't have an attack in my hand. I do have Elektra. Okay, so I think I have a plan, and I don't really like it, but it's going to at least stall till the next turn. It's not going to clear everything out now, but it's going to stall till the next turn so that I can clear everything out then. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to use my Move in Shadow and my Energy to pay for Elektra. Elektra is going to thwart 1 from the main scheme, which will clear out the main scheme, and it's going to deal me 1 consequential damage because of her forced interrupt. So that clears out the main scheme, meaning I get to activate my enhanced offlocation, so I can discard this card to reduce the cost of the next card I play this phase by 2. And the card that I'm going to play at a reduced cost by 2 is going to be my Stealth Training. After I thwart and exactly defeat a side scheme, I can exhaust Stealth Training to stun an enemy. I'm going to use the Man Without Fear to deal 1 damage to myself, and that's going to unexhaust me, and I have 3 thwart because of the Heroic Intuition, so I'm going to exhaust myself to exactly thwart out the Focus to Senses. When I exactly defeat that scheme, I'm going to exhaust my stealth training to stun Hammerhead. Now that I've done that, the Focus the Senses can activate. When defeated, you may move any number of sense upgrades in play to other cards they can attach to. Choose any number of upgrades from the sense deck and put them into play. So this goes to my graveyard. This does not have victory, and I can put all of these out. So I'm going to give the Heightened Hearing to Baron Zemo. So when he attacks, he's going to get -3 for that attack. I'm going to put the Superior Taste onto the main scheme. I'm going to give the Radar Sense to Baron Zemo. Oh, Baron Zemo should not have a damage, I believe. This was from when I was planning stuff out and I chose a different plan. I'm going to put the Acute Tactility onto Baron Zemo, and I'm going to put the Enhanced Offlocation also onto Baron Zemo. I'm really planning on just taking out Baron Zemo. All of that is going onto Baron Zemo. I believe these all can go on enemies. Yeah, these can all go onto enemies. So that's going to leave Foggy Nelson in my hand, who I can't play, and that's okay. I think I'm just gonna have to live with the fact that Foggy Nelson is in my hand and I can't play him. And then at the end of my turn, I'm just gonna discard Foggy Nelson. I don't think I'm going to get much use out of him this game. So now that that is done and everything gets to unexhaust, I'm going to draw back my hand size of 5 and hope I draw... Actually, I don't need to hope for anything. I can just hope that they don't get an attack activation, because then if Hammerhead gets to attack me and stun me again, I'm going to be very, very upset. So, 2 cross-examinations. Okay, this'll work. This'll work. So, main scheme is going to get 1, and then Hammerhead tries to attack, but he's stunned. Baron Zemo attacks, and I am going to discard the Heightened Hearing to give him -3 attack for this attack. So he's going to boost because he's villainous, and I have 7, 10. Bloody Mary is gonna deal 2 damage to me. Hold on, if Bloody Mary deals 2 damage to me, that puts me up to 9, so I'd be safe. But that wouldn't give me enough HP to work with to use Man Without Fear. Hold on. What do I have to do right now? This doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, this can't matter. So Bloody Mary will deal me 2 damage. That's going to put me up to 9 damage, which means I can't use the Man Without Fear. If I defend, I'm going to be exhausted and I won't be able to attack. However, I am stunned, but I have Cross-Examination on my hand. I have 2 Cross-Examinations in my hand. So if I use Cloak to pay for one of them to get rid of the stunned, I can use Move and Shadow to pay for the other one to use Cross-Examination, deal 3 damage to an enemy. That's going to deal 6, or that's going to, no, that's just going to straight up deal 6 damage to Baron Zemo, and that's going to unexhaust me, which I can then use. Okay, so let's say I should defend. I should defend is what I'm hearing. I should defend. What's the worst that could happen in terms of boost? If he boosts for 3, that's going to put him up to 4, which would deal 1 damage, because he's going to be at 1 damage because of the -3 from my Enhanced Hearing. So my defense of 2 will also cancel that out. He would have to boost for 5, basically, to actually not be able... You know what? Let's just play it safe. Let's play it safe. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's in this boost deck, so I'm going to defend for 3. And he's boost for 1. Okay, I did not need to do all that, but that's okay. So I take no damage from Baron Zemo's attack, followed by Bloody Mary's attack, dealing me 2 damage, putting me up to 9 damage. Now we have to reveal a face-down card, and this better not be an attack. This is Rhino. Toughness, Villainous, his attacks gain Overkill. Okay, good. I mean, that's not great, but it's better than an attack. So he has Toughness, Villainous, and Overkill. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And now it's my turn. I guess, yeah, if I just do what I said I was going to do, I can do Move and Shadow to pay for Cross-Examination to get rid of my stunned. I can then do my Cloak for Cross-Examination to deal 3 damage to Baron Zemo and an additional 1 damage for every upgrade attached to him, which will be 6 damage to defeat Baron Zemo because an enemy was defeated. That's going to thwart out the main scheme. And then these are going to go away. I can discard this to deal 3 damage to the enemy. I can ready my identity, and I can reduce the cost of the next card I play this phase by 2. So I'm going to discard these, and I'm going to put this on top. This on... I'm going to put it like that. These go at the bottom of my Sense deck. And I get to reduce the cost of the next card I play this phase by 2. Is that the only cards? Reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 2. So it's any card I play this phase by 2. So I guess in that case then, I don't see any reason why I can't then play my Heightened Hearing for free onto Hammerhead. So that he would get -3 attack for his attack. Also, Bloody Mary now comes to join my side because Baron Zemo is gone. I have Interrogation Room left in my hand, and I am going to return Daredevil's Billy Club to my hand. Oh, Daredevil should now be unexhausted. Yeah, Daredevil should be unexhausted. I'm going to return Daredevil's Billy Club to my hand to deal 1 damage to an enemy. That's going to ping Rhino's Tough, so he is no longer has that Tough. And I'm going to use my Interrogation Room to get that Billy Club back. Then I am going to... How much damage can I... I can't activate Electra. I can activate Electra. I just have to flip over first. So if I do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Okay, that's going to work. So Daredevil is going to attack Rhino for 3. Bloody Mary is going to attack Rhino for 2, which will put him up to 5 damage. Bloody Mary is now up to 2 damage. And then Daredevil is going to flip over to Alter Ego side. And then Electra is going to attack Rhino, finishing Rhino off. And that's going to deal 1 consequential damage to Electra. And... that means that Hammerhead's going to get the scheme, but that's okay. That's going to be the end of my turn. Yeah, that's going to be the end of my turn. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh, no, that's exactly the rest of my deck. Which means I get a face-down boost card. Or a face-down encounter card, and I have to shuffle my player deck. But that gives me Jessica Jones, Chance Encounter, Know Your Enemy, Nelson and Murdoch, Living Light Detector, and Karen Page. And now I need to shuffle my deck. Okay, main scheme's going to get 1. Hammerhead is going to scheme for 2 plus... Shadows of the Past. Nice. So that's going to be 3 total scheme. No, 4 total scheme onto the main scheme, but at least I didn't get my Shadows of the Past activated, so that's worth. Followed by a face-down card, and then the first flip is going to be... Head first. This is a Treachery. This is whenever I reveal a side scheme, so I don't get to do this. So this card gains Surge in Alter Ego form. So second card is going to be... Hard-Headed. Attached to Hammerhead. Hammerhead gains Stalwart. That's... Okay, so you straight up can't be stunned or confused at all. So hero action, spend 3 resources, discard this card. And it gives him +1 scheme. That's... Okay. And then the last card is going to be Mr. Fish. Mr. Fish attacks gain piercing and range. When revealed, Mr. Fish engages the player whose identity has the fewest remaining hit points. I'm still alive. It's my turn. He has a lot of scheme. I'm surprised he has so much scheme considering how he's like... I thought he was like an attacker, not a schemer, but whatever. So now it's my turn, and I am 100% going to recover. And I have Sister Maggie, so I get to recover for 6. I'm back down to 3 damage. And I kind of want to use Electra while I can. So how is Electra going to defeat... Or how am I going to use Electra? I guess I could summon Jessica Jones? 3 for Jessica Jones, 1 for Karen Page. That seems good enough. Yeah, let's do 3 for Jessica Jones. And 1 for Karen Page, and I'm gonna use Karen Page to shuffle a Daredevil card back into my deck, and that gives me a card to draw. I'm gonna shuffle back into Living Light Detector. Yeah, Living Light Detector. And my drawn card is Chance Encounter. Chance Encounter I can't use, but I can use him for the Radar Ascent, so I'm just gonna stick this over here for now. Electra, while I'm in Matt Murdock form, is going to attack Mr. Fish, dealing 2 damage, and then Jessica Jones is also going to attack, dealing 2 damage, which will defeat Mr. Fish. And because Mr. Fish is defeated, he is a minion. He's not elite. He's not elite, so that removes 1 from the Superior Taste. Or not Superior Taste, the Raft Breakout. Hammerhead still has Stalwart, but that's okay. I don't really have a lot of stuns or confuses anyway. So now... that has happened, I think this is the time to flip back over to Daredevil, and then let's have Chance Encounter, discard Chance Encounter to pay for my Radar Sense onto Hammerhead, use the Man Without Fear to unexhaust Daredevil, and then I'm going to use Daredevil to attack Hammerhead, and I'm going to discard the Radar Sense to deal an additional 3 damage. I have Billy's Club, so that's going to be 6 damage total to Hammerhead, putting him at 13 out of 14. 14. Very, very close to stage 2. What is the stage 2 thing? Toughness, retaliate 1. Wow, toughness and retaliate 1. After he attacks and damages a character, stun that character. If that, yep, okay, so same thing, and he has one more attack as well. And retaliate, that's gonna be so annoying. I'm not sure if Stick was supposed to be exhausted. I'm pretty sure he shouldn't be. I didn't use him for anything. Wait, I'm pretty sure that Stick is not supposed to be exhausted, because I used him to defend with, and then I would have unexhausted him. So he should not have been exhausted, so I'm going to exhaust him as well to deal that 1 extra damage to complete stage 1. Yeah, I didn't use him. To complete stage 1 of Hammerhead. So Hammerhead stage 1 is done, and now he has toughness and retaliate, and I got to deal with that. But we're on to stage 2, so that's the good news. And let's unexhaust everything and draw back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blind spot, cross-examination, cross-examination. Here we go. Legal trouble, know your enemy, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider? I don't have enough energies anyways. Cool. Okay, cross-examination might be the go. So, main scheme is going to get 1, and then Hammerhead is going to attack. Daredevil is going to block this, and I am going to use Stick once again to defend. So I'm defending for 3, and I am also going to unattach the Heightened Hearing to give him -3 attack. So he boosts for... Nope, wrong deck. He boosts for 3, -3, minus my 2 defense and Stick. He doesn't deal me any damage, so I don't get stunned. So now we're going to get a face down card. That face down card is Swoop Down. Treachery. When revealed in hero form, the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Each aerial enemy gets +2 attack for this activation. Hammerhead is attacking. I am going to sacrifice Jessica Jones. Yeah, she's not going to get removed from play. I'm going to sacrifice Jessica Jones. She's going to chump block this. She served her purpose. She did a good job. And now it's my turn. Oh, actually, he needs to boost. Boost for this is nothing, no stars. So now it's my turn. Cross-examination, what can I do with that? How many things can I put onto Hammerhead? He has acute tactility, and then enemy or scheme, enemy. I can put 4 more onto him if I... Well, I can't afford 4 more. I can only afford 3 more. So what 3 would be put on there would be acute tactility. I don't really want to put that onto him, to be completely honest. I kind of want to put that onto the main scheme so I can thwart out the main scheme and then ready myself. Okay, here's the plan. Know your enemy to pay for acute tactility onto the Raft Breakout. Then I'm going to use Man Without Fear to damage myself, and ready Daredevil. Daredevil is going to thwart the Raft Breakout by 3, and then I'm going to discard my Superior Taste to thwart it for another 2. Because that now completely thwarted that out, I now get to discard the acute whatever to ready Daredevil. No, wait, before I do that, I'm going to use my legal trouble to pay for the Enhanced Offlocation and put it onto there. So now when it's defeated, I can also discard the Enhanced Offlocation to reduce the cost of the next card I play by 2 this phase. And then I'm going to use Ghost Rider and Cross-Examination to play Blind Spot. I'm going to have Blind Spot attack to get rid of the tough, and when I attack with him, I'm going to use Stick. This character gets -1 to this basic power for this use to ready Stick, so Stick is now readied. And I'm only attacking for 1, but that's okay, because it was only to get rid of the tough. That is going to deal 1 damage to Blind Spot, but that's okay, and Daredevil is going to attack Hammerhead, and I'm going to exhaust Stick to give him +1 attack for this one. So this is going to be 2, 3, 4 attack onto Hammerhead. Oh shoot, he has Retaliate 1, that's right. Alright, so I'm still going to do that. So Blind Spot will take 1 more damage, and I'm also going to take 1 damage from the Retaliate. I might as well use Karen Page at this point, and then that's going to be the end of my turn. So what am I going to Karen Page? I only have Nelson and Murdoch and Cross-Examination. Cross-Examination is going back into my deck. I don't get to draw a card because I'm not in Alter Ego, but that's okay. So let's draw our new hand size of 5. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contingency planning, legal trouble, do 2 cross-examinations. Okay. 2 cross-examinations is kind of crazy. What's in here? Enemy, scheme. Enemy or scheme. So I'd have to... I can't play both cross-examinations anyways, because I would need 2 cards to play them both. So then I only have enough for 1 anyway, so that's going to be Radar Sense, I guess. So, Raft Breakout is going to get 1. Hammerhead is going to attack. I am going to defend. Yeah, I'm going to defend, and I'm going to use Stick to defend as well. No. You know what? Let's just sacrifice Blind Spot. Yeah, I think it's okay to just chump block and try to kill him. So Blind Spot is going to block this. And he doesn't have Overkill as far as I know. Stalwart, no Overkill. So that's going to be a 2 boost, and that's going to defeat Blind Spot. Followed by a face down card. That face down card is going to be Magia Enforcers. Guard freaking heck. Okay. Alright. Magia Enforcer Scheme is equal to the number of Magia enemies in play, including this one. Of course, he got a guard. Alright. What to do then? Okay, Daredevil is attacking Magia Enforcers, defeating Magia Enforcers. I'm going to deal 1 damage to Daredevil to unexhaust Daredevil. I am going to pay 1 to put the radar sense onto Hammerhead. Then I'm going to use Legal Trouble to pay for cross-examination, deal 3 damage to an enemy. For each upgrade attached to the enemy, I can deal 1 additional damage, so that's going to be 4 damage to Hammerhead. He has Retaliate 1, so I'm going to take 1 damage from that, so that's going to put me up to 8 damage. I'm going to do another cross-examination, dealing another 4 damage, putting him up to 12. I think I might need to take 1 more damage or something, but that's okay because Elektra is going to attack, and I'm going to exhaust Stick for this one, give her 1 more attack. That's going to be 3 damage to Hammerhead, and that's going to be 15 out of 15, and he is defeated. Okay. Elektra is also going to be defeated, but that's okay because she's not removed from play, so I win. I win the game. I win the game. I win the game. Yeah, that was kind of rough, but we got through it in the end. I guess Daredevil, even Injustice, can also just wipe out high health enemies, which is really, really good. Really, really good. Anyways, that was great. Had a lot of fun, and hopefully I will see you next time when I guess that was the last of these things, because now the Stop the Presses is completely failed, and everything is now completed. Completed, Art Museum Heist is failed, and Raft Breakout is completed, so 2 fails, 3 completed, and hopefully I will see you next time when I fight Kingpin. Goodbye.